Hey guys, so we're back. Oh, what an absolute pain this flight has been. Oh, do you know what? I also need to come back down here and start entering information into the box, because all of this will be wrong. So quickly, let's get our RNAV approach set back up for runway 7, veer Ligru. That is correct. Just double check that. That's actually going to take us via Belfast. We'll probably not overfly Belfast and come back in Ligru and Alpha 07 India, then Fox. That is correct. 306 miles to go. 306 miles to go. RNAV is basically area navigation. It uses GPS waypoints for your arrival. Our performance page. Right, well, we actually need to get some weather, don't we? In fact, what is set up on here? Not very much. So I'm just dinging this out, as none of this will be correct now. EZY3 for Alpha Mike. We've connected back to VATSIM. So if you are just joining us fresh, then actually, you've missed most of the flight already. I just had a complete crash to desktop in the middle of the flight. What was the squawk code here? 4750, I believe it was. 4750, so that's now set again. Oh, what else do we need to go ahead and do? Let's get some weather. We need to populate the box in a moment, so let's get that. How's it going to get me a weather at Bobzo? Amazing. I'd like to see what it comes up with there. Oh, I don't think I've tried to reload a flight plan so fast in my life, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. If you were here for the departure as well, that was an absolute pain, wasn't it? Okay, so what we got going ahead on the overhead panel, all of that looks to be normal. Where digital flight deck went. I'm hoping he is knocking around somewhere. He may even be ahead of me. Well, it wasn't Peppa Pig this time. The girls are asleep, so unless my wife is watching Peppa Pig, I sincerely hope not. That's ground for divorce, right? Alright, let's have a look at this METAR. Station not available. Didn't think it would be. So, what happened then, guys? I was literally about to start coming back online, coming back on voice with the mic, and talking through our descent and arrival briefing into Belfast. And I don't know if I caught one of the peripheral cables, but I could hear Windows give me that beautiful chime, diddling, 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 as USB cables were being connected and disconnected, and I don't know if I caught something, and then I just got a nice blue screen of death. What I forgot to do, why are my landing lights on? What I did forget to do was have a quick look, why the strobe light's not on, was have a look what error was given. So yeah, okay, we're back on, and we're flying almost at a similar point to where we left, so that's good. Lewis, yeah, we had to come live again after a bit of a crash. Not an aircraft crash, not a sim crash either, just the computer crashed. Lots of people have crashed the desktops. I didn't even get a desktop. I got a blue screen of death, and that was it. Okay. So stick with me, guys, while I just try and get my aircraft set back up to where it was. Then we'll go through, check everything is correct. QNH is 1022. Temperature 1. Minimum descent altitude is 520. 020. Oh, right, so that's 2 blue screen of deaths I've had in one day. So that's interesting. I wish I'd got the code for the last blue screen of death. Any IT buffs out there who know how I can diagnose what caused that, please do let me know. Oh, but I'm going to stay on microphone with you now for the duration of the flight. If it crashes again, I think we may have to call it a day, but I'm hoping not. This system has been very, very secure. I've only ever had one crash to desktop before, and that was my fault, with the community folder. And then my second was this morning, and my third was about half an hour ago. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. Okay, I think we're almost back to where we were. Almost back to where we were. Dark Fury, you're going to have to speak English to me, mate. You know what I'm like with tech. So if you want to drop me a message on Discord, and by message I mean step-by-step instructions, then we'll see if we can work through that together. I'm already descending right now, Cloud Chaser. No, we're flight level 360. See, in the crash to desktop, no, sorry, in the blue screen of death crash, we actually lost 2,000 feet. There we go. So QNH, Lewis, that is the measurement in millibars or hectopascals of the air pressure around the aircraft. Willie, you're off to do your calls for the day and wishing me good luck. Yep, we're going to need it. We're definitely going to need it. 0704, what time is it now? You're Korean. It's 13 minutes past midnight. Yeah, so it's just coming up on 3:15 p.m. here. 3:15 p.m. Gerard, how do I know when to start descent? Well, strangely enough, I'm about to go through our approach briefing, so I will talk you through that if you stick with us, and I'll let you know how that's going to work. Okay, so let me just see what this is looking like coded in the box again. So, flight plan. Okay, so as you can see there, our flight plan is actually taking us direct to the Belfast VOR, which is just here, at the top right of the navigation display. What we will probably do is vector ourselves in, instead of doing this, we'll vector ourselves in direct to LBSF, and then rather than just change that, you'll see. Yeah, so we'll come direct from, is that Ringer, go direct LBSF, and then we'll vector ourselves in. Blue Energy, you fly the A320 like a drunken pilot. Oh well, fair point. I feel like drinking after the day I've had. Oh, so thanks for the love here, guys. I'm glad you've come back to me after we had a very frustrating start. SimBrief didn't upload, the data link didn't upload with the flight plan, did it earlier on, and we had to program all that manually, but then you stuck with me through that. We get to less than an hour away, and then the PC just dies. Oh, what a bad day. Oh, Nicola, what you got for me? At the cold weather corrections, are we down to -10? We can add 20 to the MDA, can't we, for that? And obviously our go around altitude is 3,000 feet, so we'll increase that to 3,200 feet. How cold was it? Was it 1 degree? I think. Where was the other stream, Carly? We crashed. No, that's wrong. The PC crashed, not the aircraft. Touch wood. I've never managed to crash the aircraft yet. Okay, guys. So this is what's going to happen. we are not too far away now from our top of descent, and we're going to make the RNAV approach for runway 7, which should be via Robop, although I don't believe that's now coded in on the approach. Never mind, we can do without that. Basically, we need to be at Lurgu at altitude 4,000 feet. After that, we descend to an altitude, you know, I can probably talk you through this a little bit more if I bring up the navigator. There we go. So we want to be at Lurgu at 4,000 feet, as I just said, and then we want to be fully configured as well for this RNAV approach. It's a very short RNAV approach, this. So from Lurgu, we then want to obviously target Alpha Alpha 071, and then by Alpha Alpha 07 Fox, we want to be at an altitude of 2,500 feet. That is a mandatory altitude. Then once passing that fix, we should be flying track heading 6-7 degrees on a 3-degree glide path all the way down to the runway. Now the weather is pretty good in Belfast, so we'll probably get visual on the airport quite early on, so that's fine. We can take over if need be. And the transition altitude is 6,000 feet. Minimum safe altitude is 3,500 feet. Our minimum descent altitude for this approach is, I believe, oh, don't tell me all the Navigraph charts have crashed as well, have they? Where have they gone? Minimum descent altitude for the LNAV VNAV approach is 520. Yeah, Nicola, and I think I already mentioned, we want to be fully configured for this landing very early on. We don't want to be faffing about doing that beforehand. But thank you as always. So we're going to start our top of descent about 120 miles away from the airport to make sure we're at 4,000 feet by Lurgu. 777, there was a blackout, a total blackout. Yeah, we had issues, sadly. Computer issues, but we're back in there now. And we're also back on VATSIM as well. Sadly, no air traffic control available today over the UK, which is very rare this time of day. We've normally got something. So yep, sadly I had to do a second stream, so part 1, you have to go back and watch that. And here we are with part 2. The landing, hopefully. Okay, so if we actually look out over here, over my left hand side, actually we're flying a bit too far north. I was about to say we'd be flying pretty close to my house, to be fair, but it's not there. So the problem, I have no idea what has caused the PC issues today. Dark Fury is going to talk me through finding out, I hope. It's certainly not something we've had for a while. Do you know what I need to start doing? I need to start getting things like the old versions of the fly-by-wire dev mods as they come out. And once I'm happy they're all working, just save them in a backup folder, maybe on a pen stick somewhere, so I can revert if things go wrong. Okay, so to the south of us now is Doncaster, Sheffield, Robin Hood, Nottingham, Robin of Loxley Airport, which is my local airport. Coily, where am I from? I'm from over there, can't you see? I'm over here somewhere. Oh, right. Technically, if I wanted track miles to fly to Lurgu, I could just go direct, couldn't I? with no air traffic control on board, that would be doable. What I would really like the fly-by-wire guys to implement, and this would be a great feature if they can get this working. I don't know if it's on their radar yet to do it, but basically on the progress page, you should be able to enter a fix here, and then it will give you track miles and heading to go. Dark Fury, I made that up, mate. It's just because he's got such a long name. Dark Fury, they've not dropped Robin Hood, have they? Doncaster Robin Hood Sheffield Airport, or whatever it's called. Or is it Robin Hood Doncaster Sheffield Airport? I don't know. You know what I mean. I keep meaning to fly over the wildlife park and see if the satellite imagery has captured the polar bears. Pole Hill just coming into view on the VFR map, as we can see. So we're currently 160 miles away. Of course, you'll also notice the banner at the top has disappeared, so I'm not going to bother relaunching that. Self-loading cargo, we've kicked those passengers out when we had the PC crash. Kevin, can you enter the fix? I didn't think you could. Shall we try it? So Lurgu, L-I-G-R-U. No, we can't enter those. Not yet. Give it time. Give it time, it will come. Dark Fury, you just want the Amazon warehouse. Fair enough. Flying over Halif now, which I believe is Halifax. I think we did try the left side key for Nicola, did we not? Yeah, did try that. Do you know what? I was just trying to put Belfast in there. Yeah, it's not still working.
Traffic, Shinix 185 final, runway 32.
And neither is the right side key. Never mind. Speaking of which, however, in the RadNav page, I do need to get Belfast in there. That's used for the missed approach, if required. There we go. Ah, right. If anyone's interested in how I came back to spawn at this point, as the stream broke down and I had to reload back in, basically all I did was I quickly went to the SimBrief website, downloaded the flight plan that I was using as an actual VATSIM 2020 flight plan, then loaded up the simulator, went to the flight planning screen, loaded the SimBrief flight plan in there rather than using it in the flight deck in the McDo. All the waypoints then populated, no problem. You can then select on whichever waypoint you wish, select that as your starting destination, so we did that, and then just double check in the navlog the altitude that it was going to be at, which was 36,000 feet, so I was happy with that. And then literally click fly now, and it was all working absolutely fine. I think there's one thing that has really helped me with this. I don't know if you remember me saying, if you were with me this morning, that at the moment here on the McDo options, because I was playing around with the Autoland aircraft yesterday, the McDo menu, if you go to options, I currently had in the realism settings the align time. Actually, that is set to 15. Strangely enough, I had my align time set to instant. I know sometimes if you spawn in the air somewhere, and your align time isn't set to instant on there, you end up with blank screens because the ideas are not aligned. Chris Little, why is the airspeed limited to 260 knots? Oh, right, okay, sorry, I see what you're saying. Alright, so we're just in managed mode, so the aircraft is basically targeting Mach 0.78, which equates to about 260 knots. Remember, at this altitude, we're talking about Mach speed, so the speed relative to the speed of sound. Mach 1 being the speed of sound. Oh, Blaster Kid, you're not getting notifications. Well, never mind. You've only missed the most frustrating flight since the channel's inception. But you're here now, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. So we're over Pole Hill. Manchester would just be down below us, down there somewhere. Okay, so our top of descent is not very far away at all. Which version of the Airbus do I use? The latest fly-by-wire is full of bugs. You can't turn on the fuel pumps, for example. Oh, I don't think I've seen that for a long time. Not since the last Microsoft update, actually, which broke that. So yeah, not quite sure what's wrong with that. I would download either the dev version, well, actually no, download the stable version. It's got some features missing, but it is 100% working. So always a backup. Always worth having that as a backup if that's not working. And occasionally the fly-by-wire team will pop a new update into the dev version, and it does break something. That's why they call it a dev version. So always worth having the stable version backed up if you need. Alright, I want to be configured quite early for this approach, given that it's a very short RNAV procedure, and we obviously want to get down to 4,000 feet, get fully configured, and then make that right-hand turn for the procedure. So, we're now going to start our top of descent, and we're going down to 4,000 feet. So let's just pull that for open descent. I also want to start rolling the speed back a little bit as well. CR, no it's not. Again, that's something we've tried in the past. It's not yet available. But that would be great, particularly for an approach such as this. And given that VNAV isn't working at the moment either, we're kind of using a just rule of thumb, rule of threes to calculate top of descent, so that would be really useful. So I'm kind of keeping my own profile, descent profile at the moment. So given that we have to use VS speed, because open descent doesn't get us down fast enough, managed mode usually drops us at about 6,000 feet per minute. We need to just keep checking the speed as well, because it won't let us flick to 270 knots either, which is the speed I prefer to descend at if possible. But we can't go back into knots until we get, I think it's flight level 250. Once we pass that, we should be alright. So I'm just going to double check the Belfast ATIS. Is that still online? Yes, it is. Yeah, so I'm still using runway 07. It's QNH 1022. 1022. We'll get that in the standby nice and early. I'm just seeing, yeah, Belfast Tower is still online. In VPilot it's great because Belfast Tower is right at the top. Echo Golf Alpha Alpha. And that is 118.3, so we'll remain on Unicorn for the time being, but we'll get this keyed into the standby. Oh, have I got to go all the way around? Guys, tell me that's not real. You can't just flip from 136 to 118. What did I say? 118.3. 118.3. There we go. So, hope you guys have all enjoyed the flight today. We spent over an hour, I think, on the ground in Sofia, correcting the issues with the data link, doing it manually. And, yeah, then the crash to desktop. No, I can't call it crash to desktop. We crashed to restarting. We bypassed desktop entirely. So, if you're still with me throughout the entire duration, thank you very, very much. HD, your head hurts. Oh, I know why your head hurts. Yeah, you've been talking about Autolands. My head hurts still from this morning. I just calmed down after the after manually having to program all the flight details into the box, and I literally just got the microphone all set up, ready to come and do our top of descent and describe the approach brief, and bang went the PC. I'll look forward to reading that, HD. We've started our approach now anyway, so let's hope things go smoothly for the next 40 minutes at least. Milro, do you know what? I'm not even sure that TCAS is turned on because I've had to respawn mid-flight. There's probably lots of settings that aren't right. Oh yeah, look, see. So, TA tilts below for our descent. Oh, HD, I look forward to making that with you. Troublesome, your VATSIM program has disappeared and reinstallation has not worked. That's interesting. What I find with VATSPy, that's the desktop one, isn't it? That's the same one I've got. What I find with VATSPy is it tends to just disappear, and if you go to your systems tray, it is usually still out there. I'm looking on VATSPy now at all my colleagues that were behind me, and now they're all in front of me. HD, how long can a stream be? Well, you've seen the long haul flights. I think the longest one was close to 8 hours the other day. No, if you are moving to VATSIM for the first time, my biggest tip would be just spawn in at an airport and listen for a while. Get used to the flow of traffic, get used to understanding the terminology. Oh, digital, no I didn't. I messaged him, but guess what? We're going to have to delay our arrival. Oh, HD, I think I've bent the ruler today. But you know what? I bet spawning in the middle of the air means, look at that, I've got a clean livery. There is no ice now. We've not had to go through any clouds. Miro, so if you download VATSPy, or I think there's even something called VATMap, or even better than that, you can download an app on your phone for VATSIM, and it will tell you. You can find out who is online and where. HD, how would you write in the tech logs suspended animation for half an hour while we restart the aeroplane at 38,000 feet? Actually, I think we did quite well. We were at 38,000 feet when everything crashed. And when we respawned, we were at 36,000 feet, so everything stopped and we only lost 2,000 feet of altitude. Excellent. Nicola, first flight on VATSIM, you landed the 737 with the gear up. And I can't even remember what happened on the which simulator was it. This simulator just fades to a nice black, doesn't it? What I always used to hate about the other simulators, FSX and ones before it, is it just instantly started to reload the flight. And like, no, I just want to watch the replay of where I went wrong. Miro, the frequencies are also given in some apps and on some and on VATSIM, which is a desktop program. Or once you've actually spawned in, then and you've connected your vPilot, there's a list of the frequencies are all given to you. Rosie Alpaca, thank you very much. I'm glad that they're helping for you. Okay. So Stefan, are realistic flights with flight sim now possible? You were disappointed when you tried it a few months ago. I would say so, definitely. I mean, we put a lot of realism into these flights. As much as possible. That was the whole brief for the channel, really, when I set it up. I wanted to try and make them as realistic as possible. And as the fly-by-wire team have continued to develop the Airbus A320NX, more and more things are now becoming possible and realistic, which is fantastic. And I know everybody is going to be excited for the Autoland when that comes out. It's not there yet, though, and I'm afraid I don't know when it will be. But as soon as it is available, rest assured I shall let you all know, so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and turn on the notification bell. Stefan, yeah, I can understand it difficult coming from X-Plane 11, but I'd still say get flights in 2020 just for VFR. There's nothing beats it in terms of VFR. Sherry Lynn Ridgway, good morning, good afternoon even. Okay, so we're about to pass 20,000 feet. We'll start securing things here. Weather and landing information has been received. Flight manager's guidance computer is all set. The landing elevation is... oh, actually, that's a good point. Where's my... oh. Where's all my pinned things gone on VATS? Ah, there they are. My Navigraph had just hidden all my pinned charts. Landing elevation is 206. Remember, guys, of course, as this is a RNAV, make sure we've got the correct QNH and altitudes, etc. is very, very important. Chewie, yeah, I'm back again. We're actually hopefully going to make it down this time without anything else going wrong. Famous last words. Let's get those belt signs on. And Belfast is a decent length runway. No need for any auto brake. And the weather's good, so we've not got any braking issues. Our arrival briefing, we've been through this. So we want to be configured nice and early for this RNAV approach. It's a very short RNAV approach. Ligru, 4,000 feet. And we need to be at 2,500 feet. Absolutely at 2,500 feet by Alpha Alpha 07 Fox. Or before, as then we can hit the APPR button and we'll hopefully get the final approach all the way down. We should also be visual, so if anything does go wrong with the simulator on the approach, we should be able to bring her in ourselves. Let's hope nothing breaks this time. I've had a bad day. Bad day. 2 PC crashes in one day. going to have to find out what caused that, because I'm the sort of person that I don't like having things that won't work, and it'll bug me. So I think our profile is looking good. To be fair, we're about 60 miles away and 16,000 feet, so we can probably just reduce that rate of descent a little bit. We've got the Belfast VOR in the box as well, which is needed for the missed approach. Nick, yeah, you know a lot more about crash to desktops than I do. At least you got crash to desktop. I just got crash full stop. So upon landing, let's just do a taxi briefing. Upon landing, we can either take Bravo, hopefully if we get down in time and stopped in time, or it's roll all the way to the end of the runway and it's taxi via Alpha to backtrack. Murdo, what if you mess up while talking to air traffic control? No, of course you can't get banned, and you'll find particularly if you pop in the notes of your flight plan that you're new to VATSIM, so first time on VATSIM, something like that. The controls are excellent. They'll be very kind to you. Nicola, the minimum temperature is minus 15 degrees, I think. I'm just going to double check that now. Where's that gone? The RMP is minimum temperature minus 15. Yeah. Well, the other thing I would also do is make sure that you've got a make sure you have a pen and paper to hand. Definitely have a pen and paper to hand. Anti-ice coming on. Nicola, fair enough. Are you used to Jepson or the Lido charts? I'd spend forever. I've just got used to Jepson because that's what Navigraph use. If I had to read Lido charts, I'd have to relearn things, I think. Uzi, you've only started because your uncle's a pilot. Excellent. So what is VATSIM? VATSIM is virtual air traffic simulation. So basically, instead of relying on virtual air traffic control, default air traffic control from the flight simulator, you actually have live humans directing you. So just rolling back the speed now to 250 knots as we descend towards 10,000 feet. What I might do after this, one, because it seemed really popular the other night when I did it, and two, because it will also test how my simulator is running to see if the PC crashes. I may find an airfield that has got a lot of traffic and air traffic control and just leave it streaming there so you guys can listen to the air traffic control like I did the other night. A lot of people contacted me and said that that was a great thing so people can watch, learn and listen how VATSIM works. So might look at doing that as well. "10,000 feet coming up, so we can pop those landing lights on." Lauren, I am more than 30, but less than 40, so I'm happy with that. No, I will talk with air traffic control, but unfortunately there's no air traffic controllers online at the moment. There will be once we get a little bit closer to Belfast. We'll need to contact Belfast Tower. HD, yes, I will be doing. I don't think you were in for the approach brief when I said that that's what I will be doing. Okay, so essentially, yeah, if you just have a look at the navigation display, we won't be flying direct to Belfast and flying a published procedure. We'll be going from Ringa, then to Ligru, and then coming back on ourselves as per the charts for that. I'm going to turn that VFR map off now. I think having the VFR map on also slows the frame rates down somewhat, doesn't it? Oh, fair point, HD, you beat me to it. QNH set 1022, transition altitude 6,000 feet. Those clouds do look very nice this evening on this approach. Quick look outside, shall we? As the sun starts to set. Or certainly starts to drop down. It's going to be a little bit dark as we get down here, isn't it? The king, am I landing or what? At the moment, or what? Can't land where there's no runway. Just watching that speed creeping up above 250. HDU may get frosty again in a moment. Lewis, I'm going direct in a moment. So after we pass Ringa, just here, let's have a look. After we pass Ringa, we're going to go direct to Lurgu, just here. We're only a couple of miles away from Ringa, in fact, so we can probably do that now. So if we go direct to Lurgu, there we are, and insert that. So the old original flight plan still remains there, and one of the things that you need to be aware of if you are doing that is the decel point. Look, the decel point still remains on the old flight plan, which and the real aircraft would clear, and your decel point would move, but sadly that doesn't happen here just yet. So as we said, we want to be fully configured by the time really we get to Ligru, given the short approach of this. Start rolling back the speed a little bit. Should be at Ligru in about 5 minutes or so. So we'll enter the approach phase as well in a couple of minutes. Not heard any of the traffic on VATSIM, so I'm now going to go ahead and tune to the tower frequency. There's Nick, Speedbird 464, so he's going in.
Speedbird 14905, welcome to Belfast, vacate left Alpha.
Capca, am I in the EasyJet virtual airline? No, I'm not. I didn't even realise there was one. Oh, not an existing one anyway. I knew there was one years ago. But no, I wasn't part of it. Oh, come on, HD. What are we at? We're still at 235. 235, and I want to be configured in about 15. I want to be configured in 20 miles.
Seabird 149er5, taxi via Alpha Lima, stand 21.
Taxi via Alpha Lima, stand 21, 1495.
PC632 Bravo, enter left runway 17, line up and wait runway 07.
Ooh, take off.
Wait, runway 07, Easyjetsimpilot Bravo.
You have to get the extended ruler for that, HD. Nicola, missing VNAV is a great excuse to practice energy management. That's one way to look at it. Okay, so we want to be at 4,000 feet by Ligru. We're obviously going to be, well, probably 20 miles ahead of that, but that's fine. That gives me a chance to start the speed slowing down, get the flaps out, get configured, get landing gear down a little closer. And, yeah, because the miles to run,
and
once we get to...
Alpha Hotel, up to 30 for taxi.
When we get to Ligru, basically we've got
AC7 to Alpha Hotel, Roger, taxi via
5 miles to run
Lima,
before making that
Charlie,
right-hand
Charlie
turn.
1, runway 17.
And then you've only got 7 miles
Roger, Lima,
from
Charlie,
the
1,
mandatory
Charlie, 1,
approach
runway
fix.
17, EC7
Alpha 07 Fox.
Seabird
So,
149er5, give way to the EC Airbus A320.
given the
passing,
problems we
right
could have in the
to left
simulator
at
with
Lima.
our nav, we've seen them before, they don't always capture and work perfectly well. I don't want to be configuring by that point. I want to be completely happy that I can just concentrate on flying the aircraft.
EC632 Bravo after departure, cleared on track to Blackcast, the surface wind 080 degrees, 9 knots, runway 07, clear for takeoff.
After departure, direct Black,
Digital, great to see you.
07 to takeoff, Easyjetsimpilot Bravo, thanks.
And I bet compared to the weather we've had over the last few flights, that was a beautiful
Seabird
landing.
1495 just confirmed, give way to the EasyJet Airbus A320, passing in front from right to left.
Giving way to the A320 Neo EasyJet in front on Charlie, 1495.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're actually about 14 miles away from Belfast VOR, which is very slightly to the north of the field. It's not used for any, or not for this approach anyway. Milrow, what's the best altitude to catch the glide slope? The platform altitude is normally given on the charts. However, if you've not got platform, if you've not got charts, if you're about, HC will probably give you a proper calculation here, but if I would say about 12 miles, HD's done it, about 12 miles, 4,000 feet. If you really want to play safe and you've no terrain in the way, then you can play it safe. Do 6,000 and do 3,000 feet, 12 miles, and then you'll definitely capture it from below.
AC632 Bravo, thanks. Nothing further now. Monitor Unicom 122 dash. 7 see you, Cormac.
40 Unicom 122 dash. Thanks for the DC Saragus. Yep.
Okay, so let's enter that approach phase. So I have to do that manually, given the decel points over here somewhere.
1495. The traffic is fast now, so you can continue.
Manage mode.
Lima, stand 21.
Continue taxi via Lima 21, 1495.
Digital flight deck, have you got your drone camera out? Wonderful.
And 70 Alpha Hotel, hold Charlie 1.
Roger.
So rolling back now to green dot speed.
And EC7 to Alpha Hotel, behind the landing British Airways Airbus A320 Neo, taxi left onto runway 17, line up and wait runway 07, behind.
Roger, after landing, A320, after landing runway 07.
Belfast Tower, good evening. Easy 34 off Mike, type A320 Neo. Just for information, we're 10 miles to the south of the field, and we're just going to begin our RNAV approach onto runway 7. Currently direct Lurgu.
EC34 Alpha Mike Aldergrove Tower, that's Scott CD can report inbound the field.
Would report inbound, thank you. Easy 34 off Mike. Nicola, what happens if the airport's at 5,000 feet altitude?
speed bird 1495.
Okay, flaps 1.
Can I request gate 22 as gate 21 is currently occupied?
That's Speedbird 1495 there. Yeah, you can take 22, that's fine.
Good, thanks a lot.
One of the other reasons for configuring early, of course, is we get this balloon effect. As you can see, we're actually now climbing a little bit. So the aircraft needs to get us back down. So the aircraft now making that right hand turn to 7 India. And now going to start that descent down to 2,500 feet. If we pop that in open descent, how is that going to descend us? Will it descend us a little bit too quick? See how that works. That actually seems to be descending us not too bad, but how soon is it then going to turn us direct to the 07 Fox? We shall see. We want to be another 1,000 feet down and then we'll be happy. Paul Marsh, if I get the Q&H before, you can download any, there's loads of apps you can actually get on your phone for that and they work really well.
EC72 Alpha Hotel after departure, cleared right turn on track P-pod, the surface wind 080 degrees, 9 knots, runway 07, cleared for takeoff.
Okay,
Roger,
flaps
takeoff,
2.
after departure, right turn direct, P-pod, EC70 Alpha Hotel.
So you can see there is a balloon effect there as well, HD, but certainly not as much. And as I say, I want to be configured nice and early for this, so I'm going to pop the landing gear down now. Runway turn-off lights and taxi lights on. Should start to make that right-hand bank in a moment, as long as it works. So about 3 miles away from 07 Fox. The weather, as we had hoped, is looking beautiful. Radio altimeter is alive. Landing gear already down. Auto brakes not required. Ground spoilers armed. Nose wheel lights on. 2,500 is confirmed. And flaps 3. There's the airfield in sight. En route to the NX mod has been able to do RNF for a while now. We just need to check that it all works. So I'm going to arm the approach in a moment, and we should see final approach then come here on the FMA. Flaps full.
EC72 Alpha Hotel, nothing further now. Monitor Unicom
Ding that
122
cabin.
decimal 8, see ya.
Roger, 122 decimal 8, thank you very much for the service, speak to you later.
So there we go, final approach nav blue. So let's hope that captures in a moment. So that seems to have worked. However, the FMA hasn't updated. I can see the aircraft starting its descent. Open climb and
EC34
nav.
Alpha Mike, surface
Interesting.
wind 080 degrees and 9 knots, runway 07, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 07, easy 34 Alpha Mike. Okay, landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust. Well, that's reading climb thrust. I don't think that's accurate. Go around altitude is set. Landing gear down. Signs are on. Spoilers armed. Flap set. Landing memo no blue. You can get the brick on there, HD, but you have to turn on the LS, which isn't very realistic, is it? However, I'm just going to let this run and see how this works. I am just going to let this run. It's not looking bad at all, this, to be fair, is it? If we do turn the LS on, do we get a distance? Ah, we do. We didn't have any distance populated down here, but look, it is on the brick. That's quite nice. So 4 miles, we should be 1530. That's not quite right, is it? We actually look to be a little bit below profile then, looking at this. However, we're getting pretty close to the point now where we would disconnect autopilot and fly this in ourselves. $1,000 feet. Okay, so let's take off the autopilot. Oh, of course it is HD. Yeah, it is the ILS, isn't it? The distances I've got on the chart are to the threshold and distance to runway 7. Interesting. Where would you get those distances from? Because we've only got the ILS, obviously, and we've got the Belfast VOR, but it specifically says on the charts it's the distance to runway 07. So that's strange. Let's work that centre line a bit more. Look at the shadow on the ground. That just caught my eye a minute ago. Wonder what it was. Yeah, we're off the centre line. Back on that now with the reversers on. And take the reversers off, and we can get out on the taxiway here. Flaps 0 and spoilers disarmed.
Alpha Mike, welcome to Osgrove, vacate left Bravo, taxi Lima, stand 24.
Left Bravo onto Lima, stand 24, Easy34 Alpha Mike. Let's just clear that stop line, and then where is...
All stations, Osgrove Tower now close, monitor unit on 122.8, good afternoon.
Left on Lima and stand 24, which is right at the end of the pier. Just need to make sure we're actually over the stop lines, as I think my tail was still hanging out, so to speak. I'll get that APU started. Alright, so left on to Lima here, and then stand 24. That's interesting. We've got an array of Easyjets showing here. So stand 2-4. That's right at the end of this pier, isn't it? I'm guessing. Here's the taxi line into there. Doesn't quite match what I've got on the charts, but never mind. Actually, that's not too bad. That's looking pretty good. Not sure where that stairwell is going to be trying to connect to. Hope all the passengers still had their seatbelts on, because that was an abrupt stop. Okay, parking brake on. APU is running. Let's cut those engines and prepare for my logbook to open up. It's going to be a very short entry in the logbook, this one, isn't it? Oh, actually the logbook hasn't opened up. Maybe that's because we didn't actually take off from an airport. Oh well, fair enough. We don't have self-loading cargo active because of the sim crash that we had half the way through that. So that's fine. Let's crack on then. So we can now turn the beacon lights off. And can we call any sort of ground air traffic control? Hey, look at that. That Easyjet, you can tell, has just been flying. It's got ice all over it. Let's get the ground services in. Do me a favour, guys, then, if you are just on your way out before you depart, hit the like button for me on the stream if you enjoyed it. That would be great.
Aldergrove Ground Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, could you please send a ramp?
Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, no ramp is available.
Is that because we're not parked in the correct place? There's the ramp. Let's get that ramp connection again.
Aldergrove Ground Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, could you please send a ramp?
Airbus Golf.
Here he
Echo Zulu
comes.
Golf Sierra, ramp is on its way.
I'll also get a power supply in there as well.
Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, could you please send a ground power unit?
Nick, that's you. Are you in a British... Are you...
Golf Sierra, no ground power.
Your call sign is British Airways. I'm guessing you're not in an Easyjet aircraft.
Aldergrove Ground Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, could you please send a ground power unit?
Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, ground power unit is on the road.
So look at this. We've just got Easyjet aircraft all over the place. How strange. Something's gone wrong with the model matching here, hasn't it? What I think I need to do is I need to uninstall vPilot and reinstall it again, see if it can scan the library files better. Beautiful. Okay, so there's the APU as well. That means I can get you connected. We can turn off... oh, sorry, there's the GPU. Let's get the APU off. And why were the wing lights on? They were on probably by default, weren't they? As we respawned in. We've just blinded everyone in the terminal. And the marshallers, if we had one. This is a modded airport as well, guys. If you're wondering, at Belfast, this is a free mod. And it's available at flightsim.to. So go and grab yourselves this, because it does add quite a little bit to it in terms of the lighting, the taxi signs, and the taxiway routings. So definitely worth a look, I think. Oh right, well that has been one stressful flight. It should have been 4 hours. We should have been here by well, I was planning to depart a lot sooner than we ended up departing, and then we had the sim crash midway through, so this flight has taken over 2 streams, but never mind. So that's me done for live streams during the week for this week, I'm afraid, guys. I will be back on for a live stream on the evening of the UK update. Now that may be a very late on, that may even be sort of like 11 PM, maybe even midnight, but we always do a live update stream once that hits, so I don't think that's today. I reckon that's going to be tomorrow when the UK update hits. So we will take a look at what Microsoft have broken in their next worldwide update, see how that affects the fly-by-wire A320 when that comes out, and I also do have a couple of the tutorials coming out as well, so you'll have something to watch. Don't worry about that. Thanks very much for following, everyone. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and give the video stream a like as well if possible. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Big thanks to everyone who's donated to the channel, either via the super chats or super stickers, and of course via the PayPal link as well. Big thanks to HD as always, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Bye bye.